I'm afraid. That's all I will say. But this is gonna be a good match, I will say.
I mean, they're all good matchups, to be fair. I mean, if you can make top 8 in a tournament, you're a pretty good player, I would say.
Eventually here. Choosing, oh my, 4.8.
Greeting that T-spin a little bit too much at the top. Amber ready to take over and get that quick first win.
The only reason why Amber is lower speed is because he's just not burst, he's just pausing, but the burst speed is still there.
Yeah, Amber's definitely a very timing player, so I mean, and so far they're working nicely to get that first win, but right now they're dealing with so much cheese at this point, trying to find any downstack they can, while Lunchley is just going this aggressive 4.3 PPS route, trying to find these all spins to build up that back-to-back.
Lunchley's doing a very good job canceling. They will tank the clean and then they will cancel the cheese and send it all the way back. Like that +1 from, I guess, the new TETR.IO update in general, when you defend and cancel, you get the +1 attack and just sends back that cheese. And it's just a really tough situation to be in if your opponent just keeps canceling properly, and the cheese that you send plus the cheese that your opponent sends, it just gets magnified. It's like a feedback loop.
Yeah, absolutely. And it leaves Amber in a state where they're constantly being cheesed, they're constantly being forced to downstack, and because of that, they're not able to build their own surge here. Does get some clean, but right away gets some cheese to follow it up. But Lunchley looks like too many misdrops. They decide to top out themselves. I don't think they were necessarily going to lose there.
I think Lunchley molded too quickly.
Yeah, the mold took over there, could not recover from it.
Oh my god, he's trying to make a TSC tower?
That's certainly...
No.
I cannot condone that as a winning strategy. Setting up 2 T-spins on top of or TSTs on top of each other at the top of your board did not work out there. Anberdoodle now already taking a massive lead here. Even though they don't have the speed advantage, they're just timing well, and Lunchy's not prepared to counter it.
Very interesting playstyle. I mean, I say everyone is interesting in very different ways, but every time I see someone new, it's like a different kind of interesting that's hard to describe in words.
It's definitely unique, I would say.
Oh yeah, definitely. Eventually starting to put on the pressure though. Okay, starting to get that back up forward. Gonna break surge early, but that misdrop manages to punish.
Yeah, and with that, finally gets their first win on the board there. Amber just not in a good position, and Lunchley takes it.
Yes. Yeah, we definitely see like almost a full PPS difference already. Really?
Yeah, it's been a massive speed gap battle. Amber has been playing effectively with that being the case, but Lunchley definitely not something to slouch out. They just need to get the pressure ready and they can take the win here, but right now they're not playing too efficiently, more just focusing on downstacking here. Both players pretty even position, neither ready for any surge at this point.
Yes, but that playstyle distinction, like I've always been kind of curious about how plonking would work in a meta like this, because you have players like Lunchley who are going to be focused on going faster, and for now that seems to be working extremely well, especially with all these spikes and that cheese. But Anberdoodle plays though.
I was just gonna say, it's very funny to hear plonking when someone is playing 3.3 PPS, because I remember back in my day that was like 2 PPS plonking, but nowadays the levels are just different here.
Yeah, I think the terminology is starting to shift a little, or maybe I'm just changing the terminology a little bit. I think plonking can just apply to any level. It just I mean, clearly
it's just
we know
that speed gap thing, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't matter for Amber. Apparently, they do have the misdrops to start here, but I mean, for the rest of the set so far, they've just been dominating. Lunchley not able to do much as they misdrop right now.
Except for that rough board right there.
Yeah, Amber, just too much cheese there. Lunchley finally getting another win in the books here.
Yeah. Actually, Amber did actually misread the Q, and so he thought the board was already gonna be cleared. So he bursted the eye piece out super fast, but it turns out he had to clear something on the right side and just died. It's actually crazy.
It happens to the best of us, unfortunately. But getting onto this round now, Lunchley with such a clean board has a massive spike ready. Amber cancels all of it, but now sitting at the top of their board, trying to find some nice combos. Forces not to continue it here, but does make their way through as Lunchley's the one sitting at the top, and they have a lot of cheese on their side. I mean, that's what Lunchley is for. That's all. It's just all cheese, apparently. Maybe not the kind you like, but it's the kind you get.
Well, hopefully the cheese will last long enough that they can win.
Yeah, they do manage to make it through here. Amber now got that 3 back-to-back surge, but not able to keep it going. Lunchley on the other side, just constantly bursting, and yeah, Amber not ready to counter.
Gap is closing. It's closing.
Yeah, Lunchley starting to figure things out here.
I will say that for the first couple of rounds, I'd argue that a lot of the mistakes made is going to be on Lunchley's end, because like Amber is actually playing quite pacifist in a way, gonna be focusing on defending, trying to find the right opportunity when Lunchley screws up and molds too far, and I can't believe
it's interesting because this round Amber's the one actually playing faster, and Lunchley was not in a good position but found a great down stack. Maybe it's just the slower player wins. Looks like Lunchley starting to catch up. Anberdoodle forced to slow down as they cannot maintain this pace forever, but right now it's still pretty even right now. Lunchley sitting at the top does find a nice counter spike here, sending Anberdoodle up pretty high as well, but he has a lot of clean.
Both players with Surge, who's gonna break it first? Looks like both players break at the same time.
Yeah, they did not want to listen to us, so we're like, we'll do it same time. But looks like Amber's the one sitting in a better position in the end here. Lunchley does make their way down, but then misdrops that J piece, trying to find some combos, finds a small one, but still pretty high up. Anberdoodle not in a position to get the killing blow, though.
Yeah, it's very... Oh, wow, that's a much bigger spike than anyone could have expected, honestly.
And with that, Lunchley's one away from tying it, even though Amber was dominating at the beginning. Now Lunchley has been on a hot streak.
Yes, and... Like, if I could just... Oh, what?
Oh, that TSD tower was... That was pretty.
Disgusting. That was a TSD tower that would have led to a cease.
Yeah, I mean, Anberdoodle unfaced though, but right as I say that, has that Irish jump there, cannot find a combo out, and Lunchley tying it back up.
Lunchley really showing that better than Lunchables.
I guess so. If that's the barrier, beating Anberdoodle is the barrier to be better than Lunchables.
Yes. Yes, I mean... I have some concerns at this moment for Anberdoodle. I wonder if he'll change it up. I think he might. He's starting to get that surge going. Ends up breaking it though. So curious
he's
what
is speeding up here, which is interesting.
Yes, I think he's realizing that his playstyle. Like I think, admittedly, I'd say like Lunchley's playstyle almost felt like gambling in some regards because they were planning. They're just sending a lot of different types of attacks. It's kind of where it's relatively readable, but if you aren't prepared for one of them, then you kind of just die. And speaking of which, with that
speaking of which, yeah, Lunchley had a misdrop right after though, but Anberdoodle not ready to live it.
Yeah, it's like anything like definitely Amber can counter it for the most part, but without being able to pressure back, Lunchley can just keep spamming attack after attack and. Sure, they're small surge, but eventually one of them, Amber is going to miss, and that's going to lead to them dying. But speaking of which, I think Amber is starting to make that sort of comeback, going at 4 PPS, as Lunchley actually manages to get out of it just in time. Amber trying to do a bit more canceling, now going to start playing more aggressive. Maybe, I wonder if he's figured out what he needs to do, because tied up now.
Amber ties it up. I think Lunchley just misdropping a little too much. I thought they were dead earlier in the round from a tough misdrop, but got out, but did not matter when they misdropped right after. And yeah, it's just interesting to see how both of these players are adapting in the middle of the match. And
wow,
Ledgley giving up there. Once again, just too many misdrops.
Yeah, that huge massive spike. I'm pretty sure if it were earlier around, that probably would have killed Amber, but he was prepared for it this time, and with that misdrop afterwards, I think that round was totally sealed.
Yeah, I think even if they chose not to top out, Amber had a huge down stack ready. But speaking of down stack, they might not have one here. Never mind, shouldn't have said anything. They managed to get out of that.
Yeah. Honestly, I think you're not dead they're not dead until they're actually dead like statement is so much more prominent in season 2 because you can be at the due to canceling garbage is so much better compared to season 1 that you just have to keep pressuring. You can't stop. If you do it for a little bit, they will get out.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember hearing this phrase a long time ago by OPM, and it was something like, if you always have a chance of survival, even if you don't, you do. So you gotta keep it fighting. And I mean, they managed to do so here, and now they're both in a pretty even position. Anberdoodle building up that back-to-back here, has that surge going, might be forced to break out of it in a second as they're pretty high up. But Ledgley also getting some of their own here, forced to break out. Yeah, I'm not able to get through it. Amber nicely done there with that surge timing. And once again, regaining this lead. We were worried for them for a second, but they're figuring it out here.
Yeah, this whole matchup with the FT11, there was a lot of time for adaptation, as Ledgley actually manages to tank, trying to do a C-spin into Tetris, now has that 5 surge that they tried to break early, tried to finishing up Anberdoodle, which might actually work.
It does not. Yeah, Anberdoodle finding a nice down stack. Yeah. Ledgley now dealing with a lot of cheese here.
Yes. Oh, whoa, that IP. Okay, but that got fixed immediately. I will say that maybe at this point of the match, we will need to start seeing larger surges, because both players... Well, I say that, but I think in that situation, that's different. This is... I
mean, yeah, if you just get a 24 spike while Amber's sitting at the top, maybe that's another win condition.
Perhaps. It's getting awfully close. These players are different play styles. Well, are now like... I mean, they're just like countering each other as the rounds go, and they're trying to one-up each other. And I guess there's the nerves that come in as well. And it's very difficult to focus, but you just gotta persist. That's what a tournament is. It's showcasing your skill, and you're playing you're not playing like not to lose, you're playing to win. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it's when you've got the nerves up and you're in the mindset of just trying to survive, you can't get kills. And I mean, both of these players are kind of just doing that right now, not setting too much pressure. Anberdoodle trying to build up that surge now. Does get something going here. Ledgley still down stacking, but now at a surge deficit at this point. As Amber breaks it, gets the spike to kill. Amber now only 2 away from winning this set.
That is a great sequence run, Amber. A lot of good timing with canceling. Man, I mean, unfortunate misdrop, but that didn't matter after the STSD, because he did manage to get it off. And now we see a 2-point lead, which can certainly be closed, but definitely whoever has the mindset to focus and be more aggressive is likely going to be the winner. Speaking of aggressive, we see Ledgley here going at 4 PPS, doing a very good counting to 4, I believe. Some counting in general, constantly opening up that board, which is a good start at the very least. Ooh, rough misdrop.
Yeah, has a rough misdrop now. Well, Anberdoodle in a clean position has a nice sends a big spike. Ledgley, nice C-spin setup to counter misdrops with the IP, still forced to break that back-to-back. Yeah, finds the combo out, but again, these misdrops forcing them up.
The hesitations are...
Yeah, not able to get through it. Yeah, just too many hesitations. And with that, Anberdoodle now at match point. Ledgley needs to win 3 in a row to bring it to deuce.
The nerves are currently getting to them. Like, you know that, like, with so many hesitations at the top of the board, eventually they ended up just getting... Well, they definitely could have gotten out with that time with their peak speed, but if anything, it's just... Oh, this is getting awfully dangerous, but humongous, but you don't even see the end of that garbage.
Literally with the nice PC to end it, making sure they get another round off here, making sure their dream of this run stays alive here. Anberdoodle not able to survive, but another round here, another chance.
Yeah, this is Lunchly's final chance to reign supreme.
Certainly is.
It
Oh,
is
but
a chance
those
to beat-
misdrops!
Oh my god, the misdrops. I think they can fix it in time.
Yeah, do get through it in time. Looks like Amber not able to pressure. Amber sitting really high up on the board. Has a lot of attack ready,
That's a
but
rough
needs
sequence.
to...
Gonna cycle real quick. That's the way. Oh,
Can't find a way out. Lunchly needs one more with that just to bring it to deuce.
It's Lunchly trying to prove that it's a better product than Lunchables in this one chance before they get canceled a third time. This is a true TETR.IO meta.
100%. And right now, both of them in an even position. Both have a decent amount of garbage. Lunchly is sent up fairly high right now. Does find the combo out, but still getting pressured by Amber as Amber building up that surge right now.
Oh
Sends it up right away. Lunchly not ready for the counter, and with that, Amber takes it before bringing it to deuce.
Oh my god. My heart.
Yeah, that was a great performance by all of them. We can see Amber had that speed disadvantage and that APM disadvantage, but timing well in the early rounds enough to gain that lead and keep it there. Nice performance by both of them. Lunchly, unfortunately, not able to move on. Unfortunately, it is canceled, and with that, Anberdoodle does move on, I believe, to play Gohan in Losers Next.
Have to play Gohan?